Okay. Welcome to Post Science Learning Hub. Welcome to our class today. Okay, today we'll be looking at the topic Introduction to Politics, Series 1. The class will be divided into series, but today we'll look at the first series in under the topic Introduction to Politics. Okay, so we'll look at the focus as well as the definitions of politics here. Okay. Now, when you look at the concept of politics, you should understand that politics is fundamental to society and to human relations. Very, very key to society and to human relation. To society, politics is concerned on how society is organized, okay, to meet the ultimate end of the people in that society. And then, on the other hand, politics is also concerned about human relations, okay, how the people in the society relates with each other, okay. Now, there are various aspects of relationship in a society between humans, but politics is concerned with that aspect of human relationship that deals with the state, the society as a whole. And it's in that context, okay, that we used to say that politics is ubiquitous. Politics is what? Ubiquitous. So politics is everywhere, okay? From the micro level to the macro level, you see politics beginning from the smallest unit of a society, that which is family. Okay, you see politics. Okay, you see politics in school, you see politics in institutions, religious institutions, non-religious institutions. You find politics because human beings are there, they relate. Okay, yes, it's in that relationship that we find politics. And so we say politics is ubiquitous. I mean, it's everywhere where you find human beings, you also find politics. Even among friends, two friends, okay? As you try to insist and convince your friend about a matter, about the point, okay, you employ politics. Politics come to play, okay? And that's the context of ubiquity of the nature of politics. Let's move. Again, one of our founding fathers, known as Aristotle, of course, the founding father of politics, okay, a classical scholar, a classical philosophy, as we call him, okay, a classical philosopher of politics, says that man is a political animal, okay, zoon politikon. Man is a political animal. And so, what does that mean? Aristotle is saying that man cannot survive outside politics. Okay. Life does not make meaning outside politics. And come to think of it, okay, if you leave any society to go and stay, I don't know how would life would look like. Okay, you go to the forest or the mountain or an island or in the sea to go and stay. Okay, you can't find fulfillment. So it is within the context of human relation, of society, an organized society in that manner that you find fulfillment. And that's why you see people look for good society to live in. Okay, young Nigerians are migrating outside Nigeria because they feel that the society of Nigeria is a bit hostile, it's not economically viable, and so they are migrating to a better society or better societies that are well organized, better than Nigeria. So it's in that context that Aristotle says that man is a political animal. And we move it a little bit further to say politics is the master science. Okay, politics as the master science. Okay, now every other subject, every other discipline, every other sphere of life, find fulfillment under politics. Okay, it's when there is an organization of society that every other aspect can now thrive. The agriculture will thrive, the education sector will thrive, okay, and every other, even the economy will thrive. But when the society is not well organized, are we together? Then every other subsector of the society will have issue. So it's in that context that we say politics is the master science in a society. Okay, and this quote are attributed to our founding philosopher Aristotle. Okay, now again, we can approach it this way. We can understand politics this way. Now we can say politics deals with one, this concept now, one, justice. Okay, yeah, that's what politics deals with. One, justice. How can there be justice in a society? When you dive into that kind of question, now you are dealing with politics. Freedom. Okay, what is freedom? How can we achieve freedom in the society? When you dive into this, you are dealing with politics. Rights. What's my right? What's the right? What's your own right? Okay. What should be the right of the citizens? What should be the right of the state? Are there boundaries? Where is the limit? Okay. What can I do? What can't I do? What should the state do? What shouldn't the state do? Now, all of this deals with politics. Power. Of course, you can't talk about power within the context of politics, okay? Who should have the ultimate power in the society? Thomas Hobbes said the Leviathan. Democracy said the constitution, that's the people, okay? Or the state or the leader, the monarch. Who? Where should power reside? Who should have the ultimate say? That's politics. Democracy, okay? The concept of democracy. When you want to dive into the concept of democracy, you are dealing with politics. How should our leaders emerge? Should we have leaders? If yes, then how should they emerge? Now that's democracy, okay? Yeah, politics, conflict. Of course, there must be conflict because of human relationship, okay? Yeah, we are bound to step on each other's toe. But when we do that, how is it resolved? Okay, when we scramble for resources, okay, how do we share resources? From there, there could be conflict. When that happens, what happened? Conflict. That's politics, and then nationalism. Okay, yeah, and so on and so forth. Those are so when you are dealing with issues like this, of course, you're talking about politics in the society. Now, so precisely as an organized perspective, now to put it in perspective and in an organized form, okay, as a student, as a scholar, how now do you approach the concept of politics? Now, in terms of definition, okay, we have um, three major approaches to the definition of politics. Okay, three major approaches. One is the stipulative approach. Okay, the first one is the stipulative approach. Okay, now what do we mean, or how do we approach politics from the lens of the stipulative approach? Now here, you want to define politics, you adopt scholarly definition. Okay, scholarly definition of politics. Now there are grounded scholars, okay, in the literature that have defined politics. So you want to deploy, you want to define, you want to approach it. Now you go through those definition, those scholarly definition, and then pick the one that relate to what you want to do, and then project. Okay, in terms of what you are, looking at in politics. And here, so we have several or a few scholars. Okay, we have few scholars. We'll look at them one after another. The first one here under the stipulative approach is Harold Laswell's definition. Now, he defines politics as involving the determination of who gets what, when, and how. Okay. Now, look at the concept, the choice concept he used, the determination of who gets what. What that means, values, those important things in a society. Okay, who gets what, when. Okay, Yeah, when do you get those things? In democracy, we say in every 4 years. In monarchy is when the person dies. Okay. And then how? Okay. How? In terms of democracy, is through election, right? Yes, in gerontocracy is by seniority, right? Yeah. Now that's his definition of politics. Now let's move to David Easton's definition. Okay, he defined politics as the authoritative allocation of values. Okay, now authoritative allocations of values. Now, value, what do you mean by values? Okay, those important things. Economic value, political office, influence. Okay, I want to be a governor, I want to be a senator, I want to be a director, I want to be a VC, I want to be a principal, yeah, I want to be a doctor. Those are values. Okay, but how do you get them? He said at authoritative allocation. So authority, okay, power, okay, um, civility. Now, how do you get those values? It's a authoritative allocation of value. That's legal allocation. So I can be a president, but I'll follow the legal procedure. I can be a doctor, I must follow what? The legal procedure. That's for him the definition of politics. Let's move. And then let's look at Robert Dash definition. Dash defined politics as the stable pattern of human relations that involves power, influence, authority, and legitimacy. Okay, so to dial, if you're talking about politics, now these four key indices must come to play: one, power; two, influence; three, authority; then four, legitimacy. Putting these four together, you're dealing with politics. Okay, according to Robert Dahl. Then the next guy here is Vernon Dyke. He defines politics to involve the activities of different actors seeking to influence public policy. Beautiful. The activities of various actors, okay? It could be political parties, it could be ethnic group, it could be opinion group. You know, the society is made of several groups, religious group, okay? In Nigeria, we say, is he a Muslim or Christian? Is he a Muslim ticket? No, it must be a Christian Muslim ticket, you know? Yeah, that's groups now fighting to influence public policy. What will actually come out as a policy for all. Okay, so find definition that also captures the essence of politics. So under this approach, the stipulative approach, if you want to define politics, you know you have to deal with the collection of these scholarly definitions. Now, the second approach is concept-based approach. Okay, and then here, politics here is defined according to the core concept that captures its essence. Okay, now you want to define politics. Here, you draw from the core concepts that captures, okay, the essence of politics. And what are they? For instance, power. You kind of talk about politics without power, influence, authority, legitimacy. These are core concepts that deals with power. Okay, so you want to define um, politics rather, you want to define politics, you have to deploy those core concepts. Okay, the next approach is what we call the operationalization approach to the definition of politics. And here, what happens is a definition that is relevant to the aspects an individual wants to project. Here, you adopt a definition that is relevant to the aspect, okay, you, the writer or the researcher or a student, want to actually emphasize. So, this is, again, why the discipline is organized. The discipline of political science is organized into different subfields. Okay, subfield. So if you want to look at this as a comparativist, okay, you go towards the comparative dimension. You want to look at it as a political theorist, okay, you look at it from the lens of a political theory and so forth and so on. Okay, there's an aspect of international relations. Okay, yeah, you want to look at politics in the international world, in the international arena. Okay, you go under the framework of international relations. Okay, so that is how politics in terms of its definition can be organized in perspective so that you student or we student of politics can actually manage and approach, the concept of politics when it comes, to um, definition. Okay. Now, let me ask a question. Which approach to the definition of politics is the most popular? From the three approaches I have identified, which of them do you think is most popular? Okay. Yeah. If you look at the slides, you will see it is the stipulative approach. Okay, yeah, that is the most common, approach that scholars, students of politics actually use. I would advise that in a case that you are responding as a student, okay, and you adopt the stipulative approach, when refer or cite several scholarly definition, you can also summarize with your own definition. Remember, you are an emerging scholar of politics. Okay. So in that case, your teacher will know that you know what you are doing. Okay. Let's just do a few recap in few seconds. Okay, so in this study, we have actually looked at the definition of politics. Okay, we've agreed that politics is ubiquitous. We've also agreed that man is a political animal. Okay, and then we also agree that politics is the master science. Now we went further to look at the approaches to the definition of politics. Okay, don't be confused. This is different from approaches to the study of politics. These are just approaches to the definition of the concept. Okay, because the concept politics is ubiquitous, is contested. Okay, you will say there is no all acceptable definition, okay, or a standardized or an agreed definition of politics. So, in that context, we now have approaches to the definition, and we have looked at the stipulative approach, the concept based approach, and the operationalization approach. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for viewing our content. Okay. God bless you. Please remember to like, remember to share, remember to invite your friends to our page. Bye for now. See you in the next class.